The diagram shows a quadrilateral PQRS where PQ and RS are parallel. SQ is 8 centimeters, SPQ is 90 degrees, SQR is 82 degrees, and QSR is 30 degrees. Determine the length of PS. Now, we already went through this diagram and we made some calculations in order to involve or to include these two angles that we have right here. Therefore, these two angles were determined, and it is our duty now to find the length of PS. Notice that this triangle is a right-angled triangle, and we also know the trigonometric qualities of a right-angled triangle, meaning that we may use Pythagoras theorem or we may use the trigonometrical ratios. In a right-angled triangle with one angle equal 30 degrees, the side that is opposite to that angle is half of the hypotenuse. Now, this is a simple bit of knowledge that we can apply. Look at a diagram and figure out what one side is. One, it is a right-angled triangle. There is a 30 degrees angle. The side that is opposite to the 30 degrees angle is half of the hypotenuse. That's a fact. Therefore, we know what the length of that side is going to be. Now, we have marked in the diagram that this side is opposite to the 30 degrees angle. Therefore, its length is half of the hypotenuse, and we have the hypotenuse marked here. The hypotenuse is the longest side of the right-angled triangle, and it is opposite to the right angle. The hypotenuse. Any side opposite to the 30 degrees angle in a right-angled triangle, its length is half of the hypotenuse. In this case, the hypotenuse is 8 centimeters. Half of 8 is equal to 4. Therefore, the length of that side, PS, which is opposite to the 30 degrees angle, is 4 centimeters. There's a reason for that. We'll take a look at that a little bit later. We may use the fact that PS is opposite to the 30 degrees angle. That's the fact that we mentioned just now, that it is opposite to the 30 degrees angle. But we will use that fact in another way. We may use the fact that PS is opposite to the 30 degrees angle and the hypotenuse is 8 centimeters. So we have the opposite and we have the hypotenuse, which trig ratio involves opposite and hypotenuse. Opposite over hypotenuse is equal to sine. Opposite and hypotenuse involves the sine trig ratio, but it is not enough to say that opposite and hypotenuse imply sine. We also need to know that sine is opposite over hypotenuse. The trig ratio involving opposite and hypotenuse is sine also. Sine is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. There we have it. Opposite over hypotenuse is equal to sine. PS is opposite to the 30 degrees angle, and we are attempting to find PS. Now we already found the length of PS. However, we are just using another method to find the length of PS. So we may use the fact that PS is opposite to the 30 degrees angle and the hypotenuse is also known. Opposite and hypotenuse implies sine. So the opposite to that angle, 30 degrees angle, is PS. And the hypotenuse is 8. And the angle involved is 30 degrees. Now we have a simple equation with one unknown. The single unknown is PS, and we may go straight ahead in solving that simple equation in order to find the length of PS. In finding the value of PS, we need to eliminate 8 by which it is being divided. PS is being divided by 8 on this left-hand side. And we will eliminate 8 by multiplying by 8 on that left-hand side. Since we are dividing by 8, we will do the opposite of dividing by 8, which is multiplying by 8, in order that we may eliminate this 8 that is on the left-hand side. We cannot just do that to one side of an equation. We also need to do that to the other side in order that its value will change in the same way, which is balancing the equation. So we will multiply by 8 on that right-hand side also. What will happen is that on the left-hand side, 8 will be eliminated. We will have PS alone. So PS will be equal to 8 times sine 30. Although we have sine 30 times 8 right here, the order in which we multiply numbers does not affect the result, and that is known as the commutative property of multiplication. We have sine 30 times 8, we may say 8 sine 30. That will give the same result. Also, the sine of 30 degrees is 0.5. The sine of 30 degrees is 0.5. And here is our clue. Notice that we started off by saying this side is opposite to the 30 degrees angle, and therefore will be half of the hypotenuse. Here is the reason. Sine 30 is equal to a half. Then it is up to you now to see the significance and to use that fact in seeing how I arrive at the fact that the side that is opposite to a 30 degrees angle is half of the hypotenuse. Sine 30 is equal to 0.5, and PS is therefore equal to 8 times 0.5. We know that 0.5 is a half, so we are just looking at half of 8, and half of 8 is equal to 4. So PS is equal to 4 centimeters as previously calculated. Remember that PS was already calculated. We are only showing another way how it may be found. We found PS quite early, and all that we are doing here is just demonstrating another way how it may be found. For access to hundreds of free videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Richard James Mathematics Resources. For unlimited access to thousands of exclusive full-length videos, please subscribe to our Vimeo channel, Richard James Mathematics Resources.